go. We are
Yay, we're
live,
live.
and I'm here with Dr. Tracy Harrell. I'm the host of All the Way Authentic, Kevin P. Henry, and we decided that we would do a series of these talks about all kinds of things that are really relevant to everyday life, our personal lives, our professional lives. And the subject of AI kept coming up because AI is this thing that for me, it's very attractive and it really enhances my work. And because my background is in broadcasting and technology and video and all of that, I see it as a valuable tool. But like any tool, it can be abused. And I think that's what scares people. And it reminds me of when I'm a big lover of music and I used to write about it a lot when the synthesizer was created. And then everybody was worried, oh my goodness, it's going to put drummers out of business, horn sections out of business, orchestras out of business. And I mean, to be fair, there were a lot of records that would duplicate that sound without having to hire those musicians. But the synthesizer 50 years later is still with us and it's
Mhm.
still a useful tool. So, Dr. Harrell, Dr. Tracy Harrell, talk about AI, what it means to you. How do you see it as an integral part of our lives?
Thank you. First of all, I love your voice.
Oh, thank you. It's it's
You
it's
know that.
AI. No, I'm just kidding.
And I love the title of your show, All the Way Authentic. So I got really excited when I met you through the Tacoma Pierce County Black Collective. You came up on one of the meetings, and I was like, "Ooh, I love everything about this gentleman who is talking about journalism and your background and the consulting that you do and all the wonderful things that you do." So I just, and then we had a couple conversations, and I'm like, wow, what a opportunity to truly level up a conversation for our community, right? And so when I think about AI, there's a couple of things, right? AI, of course, like you said, it is a tool that anyone and everyone can use, and I got all kind of statistics, et cetera. About 2 years ago, I started a focus on AI. I started this certified business AI business consultant process. And it was important then because we all know that AI is here. It's not something that's coming. It is here, and it's going to change the world. And my background is technology, corporate. I'm an entrepreneur now, but I've also, I focused on how can I support our community. And the one thing I don't want to happen is I've been able to consult and help organizations, both corporate, municipalities, right? Nonprofit organizations, entrepreneurs, and I can see how powerful AI is. And I just don't want our community to be left behind. And so for a show about All the Way Authentic, I want people to really understand, and that's kind of the difference between what I'm doing. I'm an AI business strategist. I'm an AI consultant. I'm a certified transformational coach. Like, that's the work that I do, and I love it. But I'm also someone who's committed to community, right? And so I turned my own podcast from just talking about what's better together and living powerfully and mindset to really calling it AI for everyone and living powerfully with AI, because I want people to understand AI can never replace you. AI is about amplifying you and that authentic you. So we want to get clarity on what impact you're trying to bring into the world, right? What intent you have, right? And then we want to leverage AI to help you do that better. So this is really about elevating you. And I know that's part of your theme for this show is you talk about you. This is about elevating you. So it's really a perfect fit, is really getting people to understand that AI is about them. Can never replace you, your background, who you are, but it can make you a better you. It can give you time to put your feet up because it's going to automate a lot of things that you probably don't even like to do, manual things. So we want to create a space for people to understand both their own purpose, power, and the possibilities, and then really get hands-on into what AI can do for them.
Well, yeah, I think you mentioned the word intent. And I think if you have good intentions and you have authentic intentions and you have sincere intentions, then you won't ever really go wrong. You have to be careful. You have to be skillful because even when I make the music analogy, that comparison, I remember reading reviews where sometimes I would read a review where an artist became over infatuated with
Right.
synthesizers. and you can become over infatuated with AI like you can anything. So I think it has to be tempered with the knowledge that what you're trying to produce in the long run is, like you say, something that accentuates and embellishes what you already are. And it's a very
Exactly.
useful tool. And the last thing I would just say is that it's been with us, and it's with us in so many different ways in our daily lives that we probably don't even really recognize.
Right.
I mean, automation and all kinds of the voices that we hear at the airport telling us where to go and things like that. But it never replaces a human, because even if I use ChatGPT to write something, a lot of times I won't take it verbatim. I might take certain parts of it that really have made my writing a lot more succinct, maybe. But on the other hand, it doesn't pick up humor. It doesn't pick up nuance. It doesn't pick up tongue in cheek, things like that. So if you work together in a collaborative sense, I think that AI can be very useful. It doesn't have to be this scary, scary thing.
I love you. You just use 3 words: intent, for sure, but you also use the word collaboration. And so, to your point, you can have AI employees without paying a dime. You could have AI assistants without paying a dime. You can have AI agents without paying a dime. So when you talk about being able to collaborate, just like that synthesizer let you collaborate with a whole band, right at your own fingertips. Ooh, what would it sound like if, you did that? Well, no one can do that better than who did you say? Did you mention it was Stevie Wonder? Who was
Stevie Wonder. I mean, years ago, we're talking about, well, what is it? Over 50 years ago, when he was doing his first records or albums in the early 70s, Intervisions, Talking Book, things like that. And I think in particular, Intervisions and some of the subsequent ones, it was pretty much all him. I mean, he would bring in a guitar player here or a saxophone player there, but for the most part, it was the drums, the string, the keyboard, the bass, all of that was him. And Prince and a lot of artists have done that. But I think
right.
he was at the forefront of that back in the 70s.
And that's exciting. So if you think about the synthesizer of music, AI is a synthesizer really of information, right? It allows us to take a lot of data, right? And to do things that really were impossible, for us everyday individuals. And now it's in the hands of everyday individuals. So my background is 8 years at IBM, 14 years at Disney, 5 years at Microsoft. So I have a tech background, and they've been using AI for decades. Like you said, 50 years ago, the synthesizer was being used. Right now, it's in your hands, and we have choices. Decisions determine our destiny. So right now, we got decisions we need to make about how am I going to use it, not if. Let me be clear. There are quotes that say AI is now like electricity. You can decide, I really am not into this whole electricity thing when electricity first came out. But look what that would have left you. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about where that would, for businesses, for example, who decided they didn't want to use electricity, and they would rather use, lanterns to keep the lights on and not, mass machinery. Think about, the progress is going to happen. Technology is here to stay, and AI is a game changer. It is like we hit the gold rush. Like, we miss, whether you got into Bitcoin when it was happening, or whether you got into these other major shifts in societal norms. AI right now is an opportunity for you, for each person, no matter what you love to do, whether you're a gardener or a fisher person, right? Whether you're a musician, whether you're retired, or you're in corporate, or you're leading a nonprofit, whoever you are, whatever you're doing, AI, this is about the authenticity of you being able to level up your game in a way that says, what do I really want to accomplish? What impact do I really want to have in the world? And then you can have a conversation about what tools might support me. So as an AI strategist, I can help with that, right? But it ain't about me, right? You can literally use ChatGPT for free, FREE, right? Open AI, you could use it for free and level that up in a way that allows you to even create coaches for yourself, like a business coach. You tell ChatGPT, I need you to operate like a business coach for me right now. I need you to operate like a, whatever it might be. If you're planting your garden, right, you get to model it out. You get to do all kind of cool things. And so I do think it's about choices and decisions that we get to make. And our goal with these conversations that we're going to have will hopefully get people comfortable with both seeing themselves as someone who can elevate their power, their purpose, and the possibilities that they can accomplish in 2026 and beyond.
Well, and how can people get in touch with you if they would like to know more?
Ooh. Well, I'll put my email address in the comments, and that's probably the quickest way.
Okay.
But again, I love this work. And again, my name is Dr. Traci Harell. I like to say, full disclosure, I'm not a medical doctor. I do not have a PhD.
Oh, just kidding.
I'm not a medical doctor. I do not have a PhD. I have an honorary doctorate in contributions, based on my contributions in community, right? And I'm so proud of that. I also won the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award for service, because I show up and it's like, I must give. I don't have a choice. Like, this is about my purpose, right? I also contributed to a book that was called Ignite Possibilities. It's available on, I don't get any money for it. We did it for charity. But I brought 34 authors together, and we were all talking about what was possible. And so one of my passions is about helping people to achieve what they never even thought was possible, right? They have these dreams, we have these dreams, and they keep getting deferred. Like, I mean, time is ticking, right? None of us are promised tomorrow, as my granny would say. And so it's like, show up today as your best self, you using the best tools that are available to you, and life. You know, I talk about living powerfully with AI. Like, you want to live powerfully and know that you put it all on the table, right? That you've lived out your full purpose, and that everything that was possible for you, you were able to make possible for you and for the next generation. We want people to see us as, you know, we leave in these examples of how you were able to be a part of that next revolution. And it is a revolution that is here.
All right.
And I'll put my email in the chat. It's tracy@livingpowerfullyapp.com, and I'll write it in the comments.
And you can reach me at kphmedia.com. Thanks for listening. And we're going to be, like I said, having a series of these. So stay tuned for details about our next little chat that we have on All the Way Authentic. See you later.